Good morning, Periscope. It's your girl, Nikeya Young here, and it is Wednesday, July 13th, 2016, and we're going to get into part 2 of our discussion from last week. I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera around so you all can see me. Hey, Buddy Kate, good morning. You guys go ahead as you're coming in and invite your followers. I have not had time to do any promotion for this scope, so I have not posted on my social media or Instagram or anything to come in here and join because it's been hectic, as life tends to be with a newborn. So I'm going to keep it short, but last week we had 55 people tune in to the How to Treat a Man scope, and it was a very essential discussion. I still feel, and that was before all the craziness went down with all the tragedy we've been experiencing in this country with the police brutality and all of that. It was just on my heart for us to talk about welcome to talk about how to treat our brothers, how we need to treat men. So I couldn't just leave it there because all the women would have just been like, what? I mean, what about us? When are we going to talk about how we should be treated? So I have to provide balance. So today's scope is on how to treat a woman. I'm going to show you guys the book. This is the book we're coming from. And if you have not heard of this book, please read it and pass it along, okay? Pass it along. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can see the book. Feel free to screenshot this book. It's called Love and Respect. Hey, Ernie Perry, welcome. Good morning. So Love and Respect by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. Okay? Check that out. Screenshot it. Okay. Good morning. One of these mornings, y'all gonna log on and I'm gonna have on full makeup and y'all not gonna know what to do. But I really don't feel the need to do that. I just this is me, messy bedhead, no makeup, no concealer. It is what it is. I woke up like this, for real. So yeah, last week when we were talking about how to treat a man and how that art has not been passed down, unfortunately. Aw, thank you. My husband says the same thing. See, we women, we think we have to do all this fancy schmancy stuff, and men are like, no, we just want to see your actual face. But yeah, so we talked about that. Now, here's the problem. And remember last week we talked about the crazy cycle. And for those of you guys who don't remember what the crazy cycle is, it is indeed the crazy cycle. Okay, so you can imagine this circle, and I'll show you guys. All right, so without love, because the Bible tells husbands to love their wives, and as Christ loved the church and gave himself for it, he tells wives to honor or respect their husbands. So without love, she reacts without respect. See, without respect, he reacts without love. And so the crazy circle goes round and round and round and round and round. So somebody's got to give at some point. Someone has to go first. I would argue that as the head of the household, men, it is your obligation to go first. I'm just saying. So this is the thing. Whenever there's talk of how men should be treated or how men should be honored, amen, the first thing women do is get defensive. And the reason they tend to do that is because of the fear of being a doormat. Okay? Fear of being a doormat. Throughout the course of history, we've seen where women had to fight to get basic rights that any other human should have. We've seen where women's opinion hasn't been respected, hasn't been honored. It's been, okay, you cute little woman, you just stay over there, fix me some breakfast, and let us big boys handle this. If we need your help, we'll let you know. Thank you, sweetheart. That's what it's been. Okay. And that is wrong. That is wrong. There has to be balance. Now, obviously, if men could do it all with no help, then God wouldn't have saw fit to give y'all a little anesthesia, knock y'all out right quick, and make a woman. I'm just saying. So he figured you would need help, and the woman is your helpmate, right? I'm just saying. Ladies, we can't do it all. I don't need no man. False, wrong, yes you do. Fellas, y'all can't do it all. We don't need no woman. False, wrong, yes you do. Okay, there we go. God did not make any mistakes. Okay, but yeah. So don't frustrate your help. Don't devalue your help, right? Showing her love and honoring her and the gifts that God has placed within her and the unique way that women see things and do things, that's to your disadvantage. God, they say God gave women a sixth sense called intuition, and I strongly believe that's true. My husband is out right now, but he could tell you the way we see certain things instantly, he's learned to listen to me, even if he's just like, I don't really see that, but okay. He's learned to just listen, and I am right, like 9 times out of 10, I'm right. If I feel a certain way, if I feel off about a certain person, honey, I don't know, you may want to watch them because XYZ, and nothing may be happening at the time, but just by him listening and being like, okay, and then later on we discover like, wow, dang, I really dodged a bullet there, babe, you were right. So yeah, just listen to your help, listen to the person who God gave you. And that's not even just in romantic relationships. That's like with your sisters, mothers, cousins, aunts, all the women in your life, right? Woman is not your plaything, right? There was an experiment done, and it was recorded, and you guys can find it on YouTube. Just for sake of time, I won't find it, but they showed a woman, and she had a camera attached to herself, and she was just walking through the streets of New York City, just walking, and she got catcalled over 1,000 times. It was like ridiculous. And it's not like she was walking down the street butt naked or wearing some crazy outfit, and even if she was, it's just like, come on, really. But she was dressed normal. She was just, an attractive girl, just kind of walking down the street. And it wasn't just construction workers. It was just like every man she passed. It was just people, guys were looking at her. But hey babe, give me some of that. Like, they were just acting really primal, like she was a piece of meat, and they were like some tigers that hadn't been fed in 2 weeks. I mean, the thirst was on level dehydration. It was out of control. And that's just one example. Every woman has experienced this in life. Just fellas thinking that she's just there for their enjoyment, in bed. We're not. We're not. And I'm laughing, but it's gotten really serious. There have actually been women who have been killed because they were catcalled on the street. They turned down some guy's advances, and he got so mad he decided to kill her after that. That's been in the news recently too. So it's real out here. We shouldn't feel like devalued and dehumanized to the point where we're just here for your enjoyment. Another way fellas can love and honor the women in their lives are by making them feel safe. So, you're a safe place. Hi, Rodney. And feel free to throw in your opinions. So I would say, fellas, every woman in your life, like every female friend that you have, you should treat every woman in your life like a sister. That's the best way you can treat a woman, like your sister, right? Now, some of y'all don't know how to treat y'all sisters, so I don't know, that may be an example. But, you know, sisters, you... right, gotcha. Sisters, you tend to keep them under wing. You treat them with respect. You listen to them. You treat them like really delicately. Really delicately. I know most guys can relate because, you know, if they have a little brother, they grew up rough and tussle wrestling, and then they do that with their sister, and their parents are like, stop, what are you doing? That's a girl. You know, and then you wait till they leave and do it anyway. But, yeah, just like you notice that there was a difference. Like, oh, okay, this is not the same. You know, I can't treat her exactly like my homeboys or whatever. And as you grow older, you know, fellas can have a different relationship with their sisters, where you talk more and it's like, that's my homie. That's the kind of relation you should carry that into all your relationships with women. You shouldn't look at every woman you meet as a potential boo. Amen. Amen. Just look at them as sisters. Like, value their opinions. Make them feel safe. If you see them walking down the street, whether you know them or not, and some guy is catcalling them, and, you know, stand up for them. Okay, y'all. I didn't hop on Scope when this happened because I was just so taken aback by it that I just could not even. And talking about it now, I'm hoping that I don't start crying talking about it even now. But a couple of weeks ago here in Chicago, there was a young woman on the train during rush hour who... some guy, they said she was dating the guy, or maybe she had dated the guy before, decided she didn't want to date him anymore. I'm not sure 100% of that situation. And he was, I guess, trying to talk to her or something. He asked her a question. She answered his question, and I don't know, something he didn't like about it. Bottom line, this man got up out of his seat and stabbed this woman to death in front of an entire train full of people. He stabbed her so many times in her neck area that her head was almost decapitated from her body. Not one person, not one man helped her. Not one man. Awful, awful, awful. Now, you know, people could say, you know, oh, he was crazy. They feared for their lives. Okay, but dude didn't have an AK-47. He had a knife. It was one dude with a knife and a whole train full of y'all. Y'all couldn't jump on him and subdue him. This was a young lady in her 20s who was a single mother of a little child who now has to live without her mother for the rest of her life because no one else on that train had the courage. And I'm not even necessarily blaming. I'm really not talking to the women that were on that train because it wasn't their responsibility. But fellas, really, y'all go sit here and watch a dude stab a lady to death on the train in front of y'all? Oh, but they happily recorded it with their cell phones, though. They recorded her, and so the last image that she saw as she lay dying on the train was of people watching her die and not helping her. I can't even imagine. It was just absolutely horrible. Like, but that's the world we live in 2016. other examples of men just not showing love and showing that value and that honor of women. On the train, I've seen older women get on the train, and if rush hour there's no seats on the train, fellas, it's not gonna kill you to stand up and give a woman your seat. It's not gonna kill you. I've seen pregnant women on the train standing while men are sitting down. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Seriously, who raised y'all? What is the problem? So just making a woman feel safe, right? Valuing her opinions. Are there any ladies on here who can add anything that I've forgotten? Because this is the thing, you guys want that respect part. You want your respect, like respect me. Yes, you don't want the woman with all the rah, 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 cutting you off at the knees, not letting you be a man. You want to be respected. And I'm telling you, you have to hold up your end of the bargain and make sure you are doing the love part. Okay? You react without love, she reacts without respect, the crazy cycle continues. They weren't taught right as men to treat women right. Yes, it's amazing. I was a part of a life group at my church, and we just kind of were all talking about our scenarios and how we grew up. And I will tell you, a lot of this, the way women are acting now, is because they saw, especially black women, they saw their parents, or they heard stories about their parents, the baby boomer generation and all the generations before, where women were not loved and cherished the way they should have been. Pretty much everybody in the group was sharing how their grandma or mom or whoever back in the day got cheated on. Dad had a whole other secret family on the side. You have a funeral and this whole other family show up because he was working on the railroad, and he had women in every town he went. Just crazy stuff. This is the kind of stuff that women fear, and why we have generations of women now that is just kind of like, okay, when it comes to men, we got to get them before they get us, because we ain't finna get no love out here. Men don't love nobody but themselves, so it's up to us. And they're raising daughters with that same mentality. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm telling you, fellas, I'm telling you, as leaders, it is your job to take the initiative and show love to every woman in your life, and not wait for her to do it first. Okay? I even think that all this, everybody talks about how when it's summertime, women just kind of, the naked demon, I call it the naked demon. The naked demon roams to and fro. Say, it really bothers me when men will not get get up on the thing on the train. Yes, everything about that is just, oh my gosh. But yeah, this naked demon that causes women to take their clothes off in the summertime. And women will tell you it's because modern day feminism, and I have agency over my body and I can do whatever I want. Okay, but bottom line is, whether they admit it or not, fellas, they're doing that because they're trying to impress y'all. And y'all not stupid. Right, exactly. Y'all not stupid. Y'all know that. Right? Now, we like to dress cute and all of that stuff, but I'm going to tell you where that came from. Because I can tell you my experience growing up and dressing modest and everything, and being good and smart and all of that, and getting completely overlooked, passed over for Sister Hoochie. Now, what our moms always taught us, and Mom was right, is that, well, men will only, you may think they're overlooking you, and they are, but they only want to have fun with that girl. When it comes to who they want to spend the rest of their life with, they're going to want someone like you. And while that's true, we don't, after y'all done ran through every female in town, and then y'all come crawling back to the church to get you a good church girl, like, ugh. Like, why should we have to settle as women for that? I feel like if fellas would stop going for these women who have, little to no respect for themselves, women would get the message. Women everywhere would be like, oh, that doesn't attract guys anymore. Oh, right. Oh, I'm not getting the objective I want. Oh, let me put some clothes on right quick. They seem to like this respectable type. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Watch how women's attitudes would change. Watch. They can say, I'm just saying. Now, women, y'all may get mad, but y'all know that I'm right. Y'all know that I'm right. We don't dress like that to show off for other women. So, fellas, you guys hold a lot of weight, but you have to man up. You have to be responsible, and you have to teach these young brothers coming behind you how women should be treated. They just don't know. Open doors for them. Go out of your way to love, love, love. Especially Christian men should be the ones to really encourage women who dress modestly. Yes, if you know a girl who dressed modestly, just say something like, you look nice today, because I will tell you this, as someone who pushes a modesty agenda and who has a whole blog called virtuechic.net, shameless plug, I will tell you that we aren't getting a lot of praise at all for dressing modest. If you look at every movie and television show, they make the whole concept of modesty sound like, oh, that's just a little homely Hilda. Like, they make the modest girl in movies seem boring and no guy's ever gonna want that. Like, the society is very sex driven, sex sells. But women, even the women who dress like that, who dress immodestly, don't want to be objectified. It sounds retarded, I know, but we don't want that. It's just that they've learned through the media that being modest and stuff, that's not gonna attract guys. That's not gonna get you ahead. That's not gonna get you noticed. That's gonna get you overlooked. And again, that fear of being a doormat syndrome kicks in. So, yeah, I could say a lot more, but definitely those things, excuse me, are what you need to know, fellas, in how to treat women. How to treat women. We're not playthings here for your enjoyment. Treat us like a sister. Love, cherish, protect us. And this doesn't just go for people you're dating. This goes for every woman, period. Every woman, period. Right? So next time you're out and you're at the grocery store and you see someone walking with a bunch of groceries, can I help you with that? Or run, grab the door, and open it for them. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, fellas, some of y'all will be like, but we do that. And the woman will be like, don't be discouraged by that. It's going to be a little weird if you do this for a woman who is not used to that kind of treatment. But 9 times out of 10, it's also going to be a breath of fresh air because women are used to being treated that way. So the latest trend is that it's some sort of reward for a powerful Christian man to gain. That what is right? And can you clarify? Oh, a woman who does not dress modestly. Yeah, that's a whole other scope for another day, but you're right about that. You're right about that. But yeah, the women in your life who are dressing modestly, fellas, please give them props. Give them props. Okay? So, that is all I have, unless anybody else has anything to add. But I want men to learn how to treat women. I want women to definitely, especially in light of everything that's happened. If you didn't watch the How to Treat a Man scope, go back and take a look at that. It was watched by 55 people. And share this one as well, because balance. And I'm about to go because my newborn is toying around with waking up and I need to go feed him. So, sorry, this scope is not as long as the other one, but yeah, everyone love and respect each other because we live in a crazy world and we have to lead by example so that the children coming behind us, you're welcome, thank you for tuning in, so that the children coming behind us can learn, because oh my gosh, like society is scaring me right now. It's really scaring me. We gotta get this love and respect thing. Ladies, fellas, gotta get it down, because we can't pass down foolishness to our children. Okay, so I'm gonna, before I leave, if you're in the Chicagoland area, I have an announcement. I'll click on this little picture. I have the opportunity, some commercials before I leave, I know. I have the opportunity to minister in song, because you guys know I'm a recording artist. And at this event, this is a really cool summer outdoor festival. You're looking for something to do with your family. It's free. They got all kind of stuff for the kids, games, raffles, giveaways. It's this church that does this event every year. Christian radio stations will be there. There'll be all kinds of gospel artists hitting the stage. I'll be doing my thing. My slot is at 3:15. But yeah, free admission. So something to do with the kids in Lansing. So I'm leaving that up there if you want to screenshot that. Feel free to come on out. And you guys can follow me on Instagram at Nikeya Young and on Facebook at Nikeya Young. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This has been Hump Day Help, and I will see you next Wednesday. Peace out.